Yo guys, welcome at the yoga series for martial artists and trickers. Today the theme of the class, the theme of the video is hips don't lie. So we're gonna work on the pelvis and the hip joints. So we're gonna start, as always, with which is called in yoga goddess pose. But maybe you know it as a horse stance. The only difference is that in yoga they turn the toes out, just because yogis think it's better for the knees. So feet a bit wide, legs a bit wide, toes in the same way, pointing in the same way as the knees, and then dropping down. See if you can tilt the pelvis a bit. So bring your belly in, roll your shoulders. All right, very nice. So because this video is about hip joints and the pelvis, we're gonna do some variations in our goddess pose or horse stance. So inhale, we're gonna first firing up everything. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Last one, inhale up. And then see if you can come very deep into the hips, as deep as it feels good for you, but still lifting up the chest, bringing the belly in. And then from there, see if you can bring your fingertips on the floor. So we call this in yoga spider fingers. 2 spiders here. And then we're just gonna move a bit through the hips. So don't think too much about this move. It should feel good for the hips, for the legs. And let's get a bit intuitive here, a bit playful. So we're walking the hands towards one side, dropping a bit in, and then towards the other side. Same story. Just do whatever feels good here. If you have some knee problems, just be careful, don't go too deep. Or maybe even skip this part. Do your own thing. So always be mindful here. So walking from left to right. One more time. And then we're gonna go into a water snake. So that means hands together. And floating a bit over the floor with the fingertips. See if you can drop really deep into the hips. And moving from one side to the other. Water snake. Now from there, bring your fingertips back to the middle. Now stretch the legs out for a moment, have a nice forward bend. Maybe shake the head, roll your shoulders. And then come back to goddess pose. So horse stance with the toes out. Take a moment here, maybe close your eyes. Shoulders broad. And then inhale, bring the arms up. Stretch the legs out. Move the toes in. Heels in. Hands back. Heel toe, heel toe. Until the toes are out again, heels in a bit. And then drop towards your yogi squat. So we're gonna get a bit funky here. I'm gonna press the elbows into the knees for a stretch on the inside of the legs. And at the same time, pressing the knees against the elbows. Belly in, lifting the chest. So we're gonna make this very dynamic and strong. Working on mobility in the hips instead of flexibility. So close your eyes again here, take some breaths. Just feel. Maybe push a little bit harder. Bit more activity in the hips and the legs. Belly strong. And then when you're ready, release. Bring your fingertips, spider fingers, into the floor, and then bring one knee in and out again. Other knee in and out again. And you can do it like this, just to move through the hips. Or if it's easier for you, or if you have some problems with the back or the knees, you can also do it like this. Doesn't look that fancy, but works quite good. Just moving here. It's a bit easier also on the hips. And slowly come back. Now lifting one more time. Just stretching out here, forward bends. Enjoy, relax the neck. And then pressing the feet into the floor, bending the knees, rolling up. Take your time. It's just shaking out. Alright, let's go to the flow. So come on the front of your mat if you have a mat. Bring the arms up. Inhale very deeply, lengthening out everything. And when you exhale, drop down, swan dive. Hands on the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. Take 2 big steps back. Down dog. Just stretch your down dog out here for a moment. Maybe you want to walk the dog as they call it. So moving the heels one by one towards the floor, bending the knees, relaxing the head again. Shoulders broad. Not leaning too much into the shoulders, but trying to have it all quite straight and strong and grounded. And then we're gonna move towards our high plank. So move your heels up, roll forward into your high plank and just feel your high plank for a moment. So make sure your hips are not too high, also not too low. Spread your fingers really wide. And then maybe move a bit forward and back. Just warming up everything. Now from there we're gonna practice our spinal rolls. So bring your chin in, puff your upper back up, belly in, roll all the way back. Come towards your down dog. We're gonna do this a few times. So roll forward, slow motion, high plank. Spread your fingers, shoulders broad, and exhale, roll back. Down dog. We're gonna do this just a few times. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale, rolling back. Now enjoy your down dog for a moment. Bring one leg up. Just choose any leg. How many legs you may have. And then bring your leg all the way forward. Lift it up. Place your foot in between the hands. And we're just gonna move a bit here, forward and back, to warm everything up. So, especially the knees and the ankles. Now from there, this is gonna be quite scary because there's a lot of water there. Alright, we're gonna lift up the back leg. And we're gonna move a bit through the hips, of course. So, let's first open up the hip. Belly in, bend your upper knee, drop your upper body. If this is too much for the hamstrings, just bend your knee. That's totally fine. It doesn't have to be all the way straight if it's not possible. Relax the neck. And exhale, bring your knee on the inside of your other knee. This may seem a bit weird in the beginning, but just bend the knees, look forward, spider fingers, and inhale, lifting up. Opening up the hip again. And exhale. Moving back in. Bend your knees. Belly in. Looking forward. Inhale up. Opening up. And exhale. Drop in. And you should feel it in the quadriceps also, but a lot in the hips. Last one. Getting in here. Enjoy. Lifting up. Last one. Now see if you can let your whole leg move all the way back. Slow motion. The more slow-mo you use, the better. And then bring your foot back. Down dog. Haha, enjoy for a moment. Maybe do a salsa dog, as they sometimes call it. So moving the heels from one side to another so you can stretch the backside. And the side of the upper body. Cool, so now we did one leg and you should feel a difference here, I think. Now let's try the other side. So moving up the other leg. Now relax the neck, shoulders broad. Bring your foot forward in between the hands. Alrighty, so warming up first for the ankles and the knees. And then from there, hopping forwards. Now see if you can dive the upper body down, bend your standing knee if it's needed for your hamstrings, and then open up your hip here. Now bring your knee into the back side of the other knee, dropping down, looking forward, just chest up, and lifting up. Exhale. Now really getting into it. Lifting up the chest, inhale, lifting up the leg, bending the knee. Exhale. And inhale. Let's do one more round. Exhale. You should feel it in the legs right now. And of course in the hips, opening up. Slow motion. Bring your leg back as slowly as possible. Dropping down. Woohoo, nice. Should feel quite good. Now moving back. And then let's get onto the knees for a moment. And just one moment to relax before we go to the second part. So get into your cross-legged position. And I call this the loony bin pose, or actually the loony bin move, because we're just gonna make some nice rounds. And it's such a nice thing to do, but it looks really ridiculous. But it feels good for the hips and the lower back especially. And you can make very big rounds, maybe close your eyes like a loony. And then the other way. Just as long and as much as you feel like doing. Alright, if you are ready for the second round, then let's get back to down dog. So hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. Really try to press them all very strongly into the floor. Same for the toes. You really want to feel this connection. And then moving back, lifting the hips. Alright, so now lift one leg. Choose one leg. Don't think too much about how it looks or what it should look like. Now move your knee forward, touch your elbow. Now drop the knee down, bring your leg in a bit. So I mean your front toes come a bit towards the front. Now moving back, and we're gonna make this a bit dynamic to open up but also strengthen the hips. So when you inhale, you're gonna lift up, and when you exhale, you drop down. Inhale, lift up, exhale. Should feel quite good for the ankle. If not, then find a way in which it feels good. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale. And then with your core, lift your leg back. And we're gonna try the other side. So lift your other leg up. Inhale, exhale, knee to elbow. Now bring your foot a bit in, dropping down. Haha. First chill out a bit here, settling up the hands, lifting up, inhale, and exhale, dropping down. Inhale, puffing up the upper back, exhale down. And up and down. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, and the last one. Inhale and exhale. Now when you're ready, come back, down dog. Just walk it out a bit here. Maybe salsa salsa dog. I really love this pose actually. This is maybe one of my favorites because it really stretches the side of the upper body and the hips so good. Now lift one leg up, inhale, Exhale, move your leg all the way forward. Place your foot on the outside of your hands. And we're just gonna move a bit into the hip here. So spread your fingers. The back heel is pressing really strongly back. You really wanna lengthen out the back leg. The front knee is above the front ankle. And we're just gonna move up on the inhale. And move down on the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. And up. And down. Let's do 2 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. You should feel some fire right now. And the lower body. Now let's drop the back knee. Relax the back foot. If you have some problems with the back knee, maybe it's nice to put something soft underneath. And then drop down into dragon flying low, as they call it. If this is not available for you, if you're like, okay, how? Then don't worry about it. You can also stay here. That's totally fine. Give your body the time to adjust. Be patient. But if you can, drop down and enjoy. Try to lengthen out the neck, relax the shoulders a bit. If you are really open in the hips, then it may be nice to put your foot a bit more out and forward and then come onto the outside of the foot. Now let's try to have it all a bit active here. So you really want to contract the muscles in the upper legs, maybe also in the hips. Now stay here for a few breaths. Maybe close your eyes. Not hanging too much in your pelvis. Not hanging too much in the hip joints. Just enjoying the stretch, contracting a bit. And then when you are okay, you can come out. So I know this is hard on your ego when you can't go this deep because our mind always tells us to go as deep as possible. Well, don't listen to your mind. It doesn't know exactly what the body needs. So listen to the body, and I know that is hard, especially when you are working a lot with results. If you want to see results fast, then this is hard, but it's the yoga way, and it's the most healthy way, and eventually the most the best and the fastest way. So let's try the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, moving forward. Place your foot on the outside of the hands. Nice. Now first get a bit dynamic, of course. So dropping down and exhale. Inhale, lifting up. So this is all quite dynamic. Exhale, dropping down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Let's do 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale up. Last one. And inhale. And then let's get into this. If you need something soft underneath the knee, go ahead. Maybe a pillow or a towel, or maybe fold your mat. And if you can, drop down. If not, don't worry about it. In yoga, it's not the goal to go as deep as possible, as I told you a few moments ago. So also on this side, this may be your less flexible side. We all have it. So if this is your less flexible side, then take time. Grass doesn't grow harder when you pull it, as they say in Taoist yoga. So that's what we want to work on. So we want to nurture it instead of pulling it. So if you have the flexibility, move on the outside of the foot. Knee a bit out, maybe walking the foot a bit more out and forward. And then drop down. It should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, as in a nice stretching pain, it should be like being quite intense but nice. You know the feeling. Then it's good. If it's feeling like red pain or stabbing pain, then immediately come out. That's not what we want here. Really love this one. You should feel a big stretch here. Also, when you are not totally in, it's amazing for the hips. Cool. When you're ready, come out slow motion. Take your time. Move your foot back, down dog. Stretch it out. Now walk your feet forward. Let's have a nice forward bend just to shake it out, wiggle it out, moving from left to right. And then when you're ready, rolling up, slow motion. And let's get into some balancing poses. Not only to strengthen the hips, but also to open them up at the same time. First, before we go there, mountain pose. So we really want to ground the feet. Maybe spreading the toes first and lifting them up. And if you can't spread the toes, sometimes it helps to also spread your fingers. This is a crazy trick for the brain. So sometimes that helps. And you really should feel the three parts of the foot touching the floor. And then still when the feet are spread, the toes are spread, dropping them down. Knees a little bit bent, feeling this connection. Maybe close your eyes. Shoulders broad and soft, neck long. And then from this grounded feeling, we're gonna bring the weight towards one leg, any leg you choose. And then lift the knee up. Find a focus point in front of you that doesn't move. This is very important. Now lifting up the knee. Maybe roll the ankle. Just because we can. It feels nice. Alright, so also different levels here. Maybe it's enough for you, also for the balance for today. Every day is different. To press the knee out. And this arm is just a counterweight to make the balance easier. So maybe this is it for you for today. That's wonderful. And if you do this video more often, then you will, of course, see a big improvement in the first few weeks. And then at a point, you need some more. So maybe you can grab the inside of the foot, lifting out here. Still finding your focus points, focusing there. Maybe if the hamstrings allow you to, stretch the leg out. This is so dangerous with all the water around me. Cool. Living on the edge. Now slowly coming down. And the most important part, placing your foot back down on the floor. Of course, we really want to be mindful here. Now, other sides. Bring your weight on the other leg. Still have this very strong foundation, this mountain pose. And then let's try the other leg. Lifting up. Maybe roll the ankle. Because we can. Because it feels good. Focus on this point in front of you. And I'm moving out. So this may be totally enough for you. Just stay here. If you maybe feel, or maybe you can even see it, the ankle is now moving like crazy. It's correcting, it's balancing without us and thinking about it in any way. So this is body intelligence moving for us, working for us. Now grab the foot. If you like a challenge, maybe stretch it out halfway, or maybe quarter, it's also fine. To see if the hamstrings on this side allow it too. Ooh, a bit more stiff, maybe lifting. And holding it for a moment. And slowly come back. Most important part. Foot back on the floor, enjoy. Shake it out. Should feel good. All right, let's get to our yoga squat again. Now this time, just stay in. Hands together, closing your eyes. Just feel what's happening here in the hips and the legs. So this is our natural way of sitting. And the moment we invented chairs, we all got back problems over the years. So I think it's very, very good to sit like this when you can, just to get this mobility back that we were made to have in the beginning of times. All right, so let's get a bit to the relaxing poses now. You can just move yourself back onto your butt, shake your legs out. Should feel good. Maybe massage the knees, because self-massage is of course something that sounds very lonely, but why not? We can, and it's very good for the joints. So self-massage, love it. Now from here we're gonna get into the relaxed version of the pigeon, because of course we did only the dynamic ones. So 1 foot back, 1 foot in front of you. Now check your back leg if it's straight behind you and if your foot is relaxed. Front foot, try to flex it a bit to activate the muscles around the knee so the knee gets supported. And if you have the feeling that you are a bit like this, maybe bring your foot a bit more in to make it easier to sit straight. If you don't feel any stretch, then you can try, if the knee is okay with it, to bring your foot more forward. Alright, and then you can stay here. This is already a good stretch. Or you can drop down. Chill, chill. Or maybe fully forward, and we're gonna stay here for a few breaths. And if you like it, you can also lift up your back foot. And if you do, of course, you feel the quadriceps. And you can even grab your foot and intensify. So if you are working on front splits, this is a nice preparation. And yeah, maybe thinking about it, it's a good thing to do front splits after this one. Why not? Maybe dropping down. If you have the space. If you don't have the space, don't do it, please, because it's crazy intense for the quadriceps here. So only do it when it feels okay. And then relax the leg back. Let's use the arms and the belly muscles to lift up. Move your foot forward. So actually, if we are preparing for our front splits, we want to be a bit active, not leaning too much into our joints. We want to also get strong there to get more flexible. So front toes are up, back toes are in the floor. And yeah, maybe you are not here. Maybe you are somewhere here. That's totally fine. That's, if you feel a stretch, then there you are. And that's your thing for today. And as I said, if you do it more often, and if you stretch with a lot of attention and patience, then yes, patience, I know. Feeding your body with breath, with patience, with some good healthy stretching. So not pushing, not pulling, not forcing at all. Then eventually maybe you get a bit deeper in. You can also lengthen out the spine, maybe dropping down. So as you see, I'm still having my back toes into the floor, just to keep it active. Also front toes up, just to keep the knees active. And if you have the space, and maybe you are laughing already here, like, yes, Mariska, that's good. Have fun there in your front splits. then stay wherever you are. Maybe you like to drop down if it feels okay for a bigger stretch on the hamstrings on the front side. But of course you don't have to get here. Now, from here, slowly move out. Use the arm muscles, belly muscles to come out. Ooh. Alright, now shake your butt like you are a super happy puppy. You just got food, so happy. Should feel quite nice for the hips. Maybe you want to move it a bit, moving through the spine, the shoulders, the hips. And then I'm going to move towards the other side. So, move your other knee forward, first pigeon pose. Stretching out. Check your back knee, your back leg, your back foot if it's all straight behind you. Check your front foot if you maybe want to stretch it out a bit more, moving it more forward or not. If it feels not okay for your knee, don't do it. Find a way where it feels okay for you. You should feel it here, hamstrings, buttocks, hips. Maybe dropping down completely. If that's not possible, you can also be on the forearms or on the hands. It's all good. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Moving your toes up maybe. Maybe not. Maybe hand on the foot. Doesn't matter which hand actually. What feels best. And if you have the space, maybe drop down. Stretching. If you don't have the space, stay here or maybe pretend you are almost there. Alright. So a few breaths, maybe you want to close your eyes to feel what's happening. And then when you're ready, front splits on the other side. Good luck. So for me, this is also the side that is less flexible. And I'll give it some extra time. So lifting up, bringing your front leg all the way forward, toes up. So first activating everything. You can be on spider fingers. If you do this, if you are on spider fingers to get a bit more height, then make sure that your fingers are strong and straight, so don't lean too much into them. Back toes in the floor, front toes up, belly in, stay breathing. Maybe stay here. Maybe you are somewhere here, that's fine, that's okay. Baby steps, baby steps. Give your body all the time to adjust. And if you need to, you can drop down a bit, of course. So for me, this is my maximum, I think. Maybe if I stay in longer, my connective tissue will adjust. So use your breath. Maybe you want to go a bit deeper in by bringing your forearms onto the floor. Still keeping the feet active, supporting the knees. And then when you are ready, come up, stay here for a few more breaths. It's quite intense, I know. But it's for the high kicks, of course. With the strength of the arms, come back. Let's get into child pose. Should feel good. Arms back, forehead to the floor. Chill, chill. Enjoy. Slowly come up. We're going to the last part of this practice. So hold on. A few more minutes. Oh, it's a caterpillar. It's so cute. All right. Got distracted. Bring your legs wide. Straddle stretch, of course. So if you want to get into side splits, we will be doing a video about it with Kilian. I don't know, maybe you know him. He's a Dutch tricking champion. So he's a splits wizard. So we'll do an extra video with him about side splits. But for now, this should be enough. So toes up, activate. Then maybe it's enough for you to stay here just with a straight spine. I already feel a stretch here, that's great. If you have the feeling that you are being pulled back like this, then you know you don't have the space yet, so just bend the knees. And then choose. Maybe come forward a bit with straight spine, moving forward. Ooh, just as much as your hips allow you. Now, still activating the toes, maybe also the upper legs a bit to support the joints. If you like, sometimes it feels quite nice to do the loony bin move. The loony bin move in your straddle stretch. And of course, if you have the space, just drop down. If you totally don't have the space, baby steps, patience. Stay breathing, moving on the breath, every exhale dropping a bit down. Every inhale lengthening out. Exhale, dropping down. Inhale, up. Let's do 3 more breaths. Exhale, moving in a bit. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Last one. Exhale. And inhale. Coming out. Well done. Bring your hands underneath the knees. Just sit here for a moment. Just feeling in your cross-legged position the echo of the stretch. So the feeling that you have after the deep stretch. And when you already come into Zaza, Japanese sitting, still eyes closed for a moment, relaxing the shoulders, feeling the hips and the muscles around it. And then open your eyes. And I want to thank you so much for joining. Arigato. So if you made it all the way up here, hit the like button. If you are still smiling, then consider subscribing.